of what Tottenham have done this season is the fact that there'll be other teams who want their players and willing to pay them more money. So the likes of Ali, Kane, Ericsson, Alderweireld, you'd no end. I could go on. I could go on and on. And not only that, you got a manager there. You got a manager there who's building something. Yes, he's building, but he needs to. He finished second last season, so every year you're going to look for progression. I know it's hard to win the Premier League; it's getting harder every year. So the minimum requirement you would suggest is to finish second again.
And add a trophy.
And that is a step in the right direction.
See, I think if he's building a project, as we keep referring to these things now, what for me I don't get is when you look at that, the most important thing to give a group of players now is a victory. Win your first trophy, whatever it is. Look at Mourinho when he arrived in England. What was the first trophy he won?
League Cup, yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson, all them years ago.
League Cup.
Man United.
League Cup. FA Cup. Win a trophy, Richard, and then suddenly you elevate your club and your players to a new level.
Yeah.
You can win. You are winners. At the moment, we don't know what Spurs are. They're going to finish. They might finish second again. They might do third next year. They might go fourth next year. They might go second the year after. But is that good enough for Tottenham fans? It might be good enough for Spurs financially. Is it good enough for Tottenham fans? Win a trophy. That's all.
Yeah, a lot of the positions in the Premier League can be put down to the wage bill, Andy. And I think Tottenham are probably overachieving for the wages they pay, and it does touch upon big question whether they can keep some of these players, and it's going to be very, very difficult to keep some of the players unless the wage structure changes.
And there's a new stadium to move into, and Arsenal know all about that.
Yeah, it didn't help. It didn't help. The amount of money that was invested in the Emirates certainly didn't help what was happening on the pitch. A lot of players left, and I don't know the contractual situation of Alderweireld. He was big miss for them there today. Harry Kane,
Danny Rose,
Dele Alli. I don't know what the contractual situation is, but it may be that Tottenham are looking at the end of this team if they can't keep those players together.
Wow. The end of this team at the start of a brand new era.
Yeah, the end of this team.
What power shift. Today, let's be specific. 2 incidents. Liam, you said Spurs fans have got a justifiable disappointment about.
We saw Pochettino having a word with the 4th official at the start of the second half, and rightly so. This was a soft free kick. And then, if the assistant on the line...
Soft or wasn't?
Soft. I don't think...
No chance. I don't think we're near a free kick.
No, I don't think... If he had have played on, I don't think Arsenal would have complained. And this is another reason why Tottenham fans are going to be unhappy. It's a great header by Mustafi, but there's a shade of offside. And if the assistant sticks his flag up there, I don't think Arsenal can have a complaint. I know Arsenal's gone crazy after the Man City match, saying that they were hard done by, but I think Spurs have been hard done by today with whether these goals could have stood or whether they could have been disallowed. But on play, no. Arsenal were by far the better team, and a bit like Manchester City were against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago.
So that's not offside. I don't think it's an argument about second goal. I really don't.
Really? Look.
No, there's not an argument for me.
Is he not beyond the last
If you were to go to a video assistant referee right now, would he give offside for that? No, he wouldn't.
He would give him the benefit of the doubt. It's so tight, it's level.
So I think they've definitely got an argument with the first goal, Tottenham, but I don't think there's an argument with the second. I think once you see it like that, he's bang on level for me.
But that area, Andy, there where they got in, they got in there time and time again. Didn't they? Just good runs off the ball. Lacazette gives them that other dimension. Midfield players get the ball. All they can see is his number. He stretches defenders, dislodges centre halves. Play with 3 today. Dyer struggled massively.
He did.
And the likes of Ozil was picking up space. Best game we've seen him play for a long, long time. And Sanchez enjoyed his day. So, in all, the game plan worked for Arsene Wenger today.
Our 3 forwards played really, really well. Lacazette led the line. Ozil was at his sublime best, and I'm one of his biggest critics because he doesn't do it consistently enough. And Sanchez was outstanding, was all over the place. Compare those 3, the Tottenham's 3, Dele Alli, Ericsson and Harry Kane. Maybe there's a doubt about Harry Kane's fitness and Dele Alli's fitness, but they didn't compare to our 3.
Well, let me welcome our guests, 6 of them today with 3 o'clock games, and they've really got significance at both ends of the table. Dion Dublin is with us, Dean Saunders, Michael Owen, Kelly Smith, Glenn Hoddle and John Hartson. We'll start with these two because they both played for Arsenal and Tottenham, and Arsenal won the North London derby 2-0. Let's have a look at the table then after that, and Arsenal moving to within a point of their North London rivals. From Tottenham's point of view, their 3 defeats this season out to Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United, 3 of the big hitters. City win at Leicester, and Glenn Hoddle's going to watch that one. Then City will go 11 points clear. Well, let's start with the winning team. Arsene Wenger, he often gets a result when he really needs it. And he needed this, because everyone's talking about power shift and Tottenham are the favourites and everything that went with it.
Well, Mark, I have to say they came out with a real intent from the word go. You know, they got on the front foot. They were getting down the right-hand side, Arsenal's right-hand side in the first half. Bellerin did really, really well. Great pass from Aaron Ramsey in behind the Tottenham defence. They created chances, and then they got a great goal from Mustafi. You could argue it wasn't a free kick, but they got a great goal, and then Sanchez put them 2-0 up. So it was just a case of seeing the game through in the second half. As far as Arsenal were concerned, they've let Leeds go in the past. It's just a case of managing the second half. They took Sanchez off, they put another defender on, and they saw the game through, and it was a fantastic win for them. Just a point now behind Spurs in the league. 2
of you wearing Arsenal hats, of course, Kelly, and you were very nervous beforehand, but they played with an intensity they don't always play with Arsenal, let's be honest, but it was there today, wasn't it?
It was, right from the get-go, like John said. Energy, effort, hunger, pressing together, one going, the other one leads off of that. You've not seen an Arsenal team play like that. I think they were really up for it today against a very good Tottenham side. And now Arsene Wenger's looking like God again, you know, Wenger in, you know.
Glenn, every time we picked up a newspaper this week, people quite rightly have been lauding Pochettino and this Tottenham team. They're talking about power shifts, which make good newspaper headlines. Let's not worry about that. But is there a part of you that thinks that the Tottenham team believe their own hype a bit?
They believed in their own hype a little bit this week, I've got to say. I was down at the training ground on Thursday and it felt good. They're all coming back in from international duty, which is always difficult for all clubs if you've got loads of players in international duty. You know, Maurizio was saying we won't really get to work with the team until Friday, but that's a lot of clubs that happens to. But they weren't at it. They weren't at it. The back three looked nervous. Arsenal, Kelly's right. They pressed the 3 strikers, went and pressed them. And Tottenham didn't do enough to get through the pitch because they had spare men in midfield. They're wing-backs, but Arsenal did well and they deserved the win.
Yeah. The controversy then. You know, you're a striker, you want everything to go your way, but when it's really fine lines. Eric Dyer's complained afterwards, too big a game for the decisions not to be 100% correct. John said it probably wasn't a free kick, to be fair, but for the first goal. But then the Mustafi header and the build-up to the second goal, Eric Dyer is saying they were marginal, but Arsenal players were offside.
Oh, I mean, it was so marginal. The human eye can't spot that. So unless you bring in technology, then we're going to get that. It was probably the shoulder. It was the arm, but obviously the arm can't score a goal. There was maybe a bit of the shoulder that was offside. You can't have a go at the officials. Let's say that. And we were always led to believe that if there's any doubt, then it goes with the striker. I mean, I find it really hard that anyone can pinpoint that and say that was the cause of defeat. Arsenal were the better team. Yes, it wasn't a free kick, but it wasn't a free kick and it wasn't in the most dangerous of positions. You still should defend it. A floaty ball in. It was a fantastic header, though. But no, Arsenal definitely...
I'm just looking at all the goal scorers in the Creator. You're going to go, yeah, come on, it's fine. You were not. You know, well, you played at the back as well.
He was both. He was up front and at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what Dyer's saying about them being offside and free kicks, if he doesn't stop and he doesn't hold his hand up for offside, he stops that first goal in the first place. I don't like excuses when players know they should have done better themselves. You know, do your job first, argue about the decision later. Yeah. That's what you've got to do. Stop the ball going in the back of your net. It's frustrating with my centre-half's head on, but what a great finish.
The first is obviously offside. I think obviously might be stretching it a bit. The second one is marginal. But as you say, once it's happened, you've got to deal with it. And they never got going, Tottenham. This record of Pochettino as well, 10 defeats in 17. This goes back to Southampton as well, to be fair, against the Big Six. Just 1 win in there. It is, when you look at it, it's the last step that he and Tottenham have to take, don't they? To start getting results. They lost at Old Trafford a few weeks ago. They've lost at Arsenal today.
Yeah, well, and we were just talking about it earlier, there's stats against the big teams. But you look at that performance today, and Eriksen ripped Ireland to bits on his own. Flat today. Harry Kane, flat. Dele Alli, flat. Sanchez was the best player on the pitch for me. He just looks the difference between the two teams. He was everywhere today. Made the first goal, got fouled, and then scored the second one. But they're offside, aren't they? Letter of the law. The letter of the law. They are both offside.
You to say that.
No, they are. They're both offside. But Michael's right. Until you get technology in, it's the width of somebody's arm.
Well, last week too, Arsenal were hard done by, so they said.
Absolutely,
with
Kelly, you're spot on. I think in big games, big derby games, you need a few breaks.
Yes, an offside goal and then a penalty with Sterling going down probably a little bit too easy. So last week it was Arsenal that were, unjust, and now this week they've got the rub of the green.
Was it your decision to put me in between?
But the interesting is that you, with your Tottenham hat on, and obviously having been a manager, say, listen, you can argue about that. That is not the reason Tottenham lost.
I'm surprised. Yeah, absolutely, no. And they've got to improve against the better teams, the top teams, without a doubt. I'm surprised it wasn't about the free kick. I thought Sanchez on Sanchez was a great tackle. That's where I would have been going. At half-time, he was talking to the fourth official. But you've got to defend it better. How many goals do we see now from wide free kicks coming in? And the attacking side get goal side too many times. And the offside rule now has made it almost impossible. You've got to work on the training rate. Liverpool give loads of goals away in a similar manner. Get goal side. Make sure you're goal side, or come up with something different and defend on the 6-yard box.
Glenn,
see how many goals are scored.
The second goal, you're talking about Eric Dyer complaining about offside.
Yeah.
He's the middle man in a back three. The ball's on this side of the pitch.
Yeah.
He cannot step up for offside there. He doesn't know where Sanchez is behind him. If you're the furthest away in a back four, you're the furthest away centre back. You can step up, but not when you're in a back three. So he should have tracked the run out. That's what he's there for. He's the insurance policy as a sweeper. He's got to pick them runs out and track people.
But that's when you're not off mentally. He's had a hard week. He's had 2 internationals. He's been captain of England. For me, maybe it was a day to rest him and play somebody else. And Sanchez plays normally better in the centre for me, and Dyer on the outside where he can come out on the ball.
One other story, which we'll keep an eye on, is the fact that Danny Rose wasn't even in the squad at Tottenham, so we'll try and find out exactly what is going on. Bearing in mind the history, as you remember from the summer, when he said he wanted Tottenham to sign big-name players and didn't have to Google them when they signed them. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Right, Dion's going to be watching Crystal Palace against Everton today. That is all about the bottom. Kelly, Liverpool against Southampton. Liverpool have got a big week ahead. Michael, West Brom, Tony Pulis struggling against the champions Chelsea. Dean's got Burnley against Swansea. Swansea have lost 3 in a row. John, Bournemouth against Huddersfield. They're both in good form recently. And Glenn's going to watch the rampant Manchester City at Leicester. He's going to enjoy that one as well. 3 reporters in Scotland as well. Jeff Brazier in the National League. Team news in a couple of moments' time.